2011, this year, a 17-year-old was shot to death in the 7th Ward. The same weekend, a 19-year-old was gunned down by a man with an assault rifle. Earlier that month, a 15-year-old was killed in the East. Another 15-year-old was shot dead in Holy Cross in January. And last September, someone murdered a 16-year-old. All teenagers. Every one of them was classmates at John McDonogh High School. From September of last year to February of this year, a student attending John McDonogh High School was more likely to be killed than an American soldier in Afghanistan. Are you listening to me? That's right. A high likelihood of being murdered on the streets of New Orleans than an American soldier being killed in Afghanistan. Quite frankly, right now, being on our streets is like a war. And in fact, it is a war that's being waged for the heart and the soul of New Orleans. And we are leaving our brothers and our sisters behind. New Orleans, this is the most difficult and important challenge that we face. All of our progress, all of our hard work, our past and our future lie in our ability to change the culture of violence and death in our city to one of a culture of life, of peace, of prosperity, of joy, and of possibility. That is our mission. But it seems to me that we have become numb because of the frequency of these tragedies. We cannot allow them to continue, and we cannot simply consider them to be part of our daily lives, of our culture, like taking a streetcar, eating a roast beef sandwich, watching a parade, hanging out at the second line. Because every life has value, and every murder kills a piece of us all. These murders bring pain and suffering, fear and despair, and they threaten our freedom because we cannot be free if we live in fear. These murders have a cost, both in dollars and in human capital. We've already spent $335,000 for Joseph Norfleet in Angola, and before he dies, we will spend another $1 million. $1.35 million if you just care about dollars and cents. But it's much, much more than that. We're losing the next trombone shorty, or Ellis Marcellus, the next Shamar Allen, the next generation of scientists, firefighters, CEOs, elected officials. And in this battle for our sons, for our future, we must come together once again, just as we did after Katrina and the BP oil spill, the national recession, because this situation is just as important, just as critical for our city's future. New Orleans, this is about changing the culture of death and violence that has held us back for generations. This is about coming together to triumph over yet another challenge. This is about moving forward, moving past the vestiges of poverty and racism and marching into the light of freedom and redemption. This is about creating a pathway to prosperity, not a pathway to prison. It takes courage, it takes hope, and yeah, it's really about liberty. And yes, it's hard.